Hello everyone, my name is Amit. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in the last session, um, we have learned about the list HTML list. Okay, so today we will start HTML form. So what is the form in HTML? So HTML form is used to collect user input. Whatever user want to input, so form will collect all information about the user. Whatever user want to input inside the input field, insert the select drop down or insert the text area, so that is a part of form. Okay, so the user input is most often sent to a server for processing. Okay, so HTML form, we will do the example and try to understand using example. Okay, so first go to the folder, that is the folder. Inside the folder, open the command prompt and open the whole folder inside the VS Code editor. Okay, write the command code space dot. So same folder will open inside the VS Code editor. Okay, now go to the file, new file, create a new file, that is the form dot html. What is the extension of HTML? Dot extension dot html. Form, that is the file name dot html. Okay, file will create. Okay, so first our basic tag is doc type. After doc type, we need to open HTML. Close the HTML. Inside the HTML, we need to open head. After that, title. So what is the title? Example of form. And after that, outside of head, we need to open body. Inside the body. Okay. So first, our basic tag is form. Form, because we have learned form. We will try to learn form. So what is the basic tag of form? That is a basic element form. After that, we have a lot of elements inside the form. We have a lot of elements. So that is the form element, HTML form element we use to create HTML form for user input. Okay. So first element is form. First element is input. Okay, that is the input tag, and there are some attribute type. Just for example, that is a type of text. Okay, input type text, and another element is label, that is display the text whatever you want to display. I want to provide the label name. Okay, and another input field, that is email. And what is the input type? I will provide the email. Okay, we will learn all attributes and elements. For now, this is the basic example. I will show you how it looks like. And I need one button. So we need to take one input and type submit. Type submit. Type equal to submit. And value I will provide value. That is the button name. Okay. Save it and copy the path. Go to the browser, run it. So as you can see, form is displayed. Okay, take one 6H5. It's look like we need to break here. So just use the BR tag for breaking the line, and here also. Yeah, it's look like this. Okay, so that is the basic form. Whatever you want to input here, you can input. the email. So if you not provide the email, so it will give some error, because here you take input type as email, so you need to provide proper email. That is the form. When you click on the save, so your form is submitted and your field is empty. Okay. So move to the next, that is the input. There are some types, some types are there. So if you want to provide text, if you want to enter everything in your input box, number, character, special character, so you will take as input type text. If you want to enter only email in your text field, so in that case you need to provide input type email. I will show you. Here I am writing one comment type. If input type text, if input type equal to text, then you need to provide this one. And if your input type is email, your input type is email, then you will take type as an email. Okay. And if your input type is password, if you want to enter password field, if you want to make as a password field, so in that case you need to take type as a password. Type take as a password. Okay. I will write one more thing. If you want to provide as a checkbox or radio box, radio, if you want to select male or female, so in that case you will provide, this is the gender, this is the gender. I will provide type radio and value is, what is the value? Value is male. This is the male field. This is the male field. I will write another field. This is type radio. This is the female. So if your type is radio, if your input type is radio, then you will take this like this, your type radio. If you want to provide your input type as a checkbox, if your input type is checkbox, so just use checkbox here, checkbox, checkbox, hobbies, cricket, football, swimming. Just here provide I will show you how it likes. So as you can see here, the male field, this is the female. So as you can see, first is the text field, right? Here you provide the text, type text. So here you can everything you are able to enter, right? But here this is the email field, right? So here you just provide only email. Okay. This is the password field. If you enter anything, it will showing looking like this. Okay. And this is the radio button. This is the checkbox. If you want to select multiple, then you will use the checkbox. If you want to select at once, okay, If you have multiple option but you want to select only one, then in that case you will use input type radio. Okay, and if you have a multiple choice and if you want to select multiple, in that case you will use checkbox, input type checkbox. Okay, so here I already explained text, input type radio, input type checkbox, and input type submit and button. I will show you input type submit and input type button. So here, as you can see, here I am providing input type submit. Okay. So if you enter value here, and if you have an input type submit, and if you click on the save button or enter, if you hit enter, so your form is submitted and your input field getting empty, right? If you will provide as a submit, if you want to provide as a button, if you want to provide button, so refresh this one, fill all fields at the rate gmail.com, fill all these fields, and when you click on the save button, so your form is not submitted, your form is not submitted. In that case you need to provide manual method, then you will able to submit your forms. If you want to provide input type button, if you want to provide input type button, so in that case your form not submitted, you will need to be submit your form based on the javascript method, manual method, right? And if you want to provide submit, input type submit, so after entering the field and hitting the enter or clicking the button, in that case your form will submitted and your form will getting empty. So that is the difference, button and input type submit. As you can see, if you provide the input type submit, so display submit button for submitting the form, and if you want to provide button, so display clickable button. Okay, you need to provide some manual methods. Okay, another element is label. Label we need to provide. What is the label tag? Label tag define the label for many form elements, whatever elements you want to provide. For example, this field this field belongs to uh, name field, so in that case you need to use label. Inside the label you need to provide name text, whatever text you want to display in your UI. Okay, input type radio. So move to the next. What is the attributes, form attributes? So the form attributes, we have a form attributes and action. We have a one form attribute that is called action. Action attribute defines the action to be performed when form is submitted. We have one form attribute that is called action. So action will provide after submitting the form, it will provide some action. Okay, after submitting the form, the action attribute defines the action to be performed when your form is submitted. For example, after submitting your form, where you want to send your data, right? So that is called action attribute. Okay? So that is the form attribute. Action is the form attribute. Another attribute is target. Another attribute is target. If you want to provide target, for example blank. As you already learn about the target attribute in the anchor tag. In the link anchor tag, if you want to provide your target as a blank, so after submitting form, your new tab is open. After submitting form, new page is open. I will show you. First I will make as a type submit. After entering the form detail, hitting enter. So as you can see, your new page is open, new tab is open, because you provide the target blank and action element.html. So your element.action will perform, right? Action is performed. Action is performed. Inside the action you provide, right? Element.html slash element.html. So it go to element.html and it will open the new tab, right? That is the benefit of using action and action attribute and target. So I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. So you have a lot of targets. If you want to provide, then it will open a new tab. If you want to provide target as self, so the response is displayed on the current window. If you want to provide parent, the response is displayed on the same frame. If you want to provide top, so this response is displayed in the full body of the window. Another attribute is method. So another attribute is method. If you want to provide method, so which method, based on the method, you need to submit your forms, right? So method attribute specify the HTTP method to be used when submitting the form data. Form data can be sent URL variable with method get or as HTTP post transaction with method post. I will show you. First, I will provide the method get. Okay, go to the form, refresh the page, fill some details. After submitting, it will go to the next page and get operation performed. Because this is the HTTP method. For now, you did not understand HTTP method. Once you will learn JavaScript, so then you will get more clarification on the methods. Because there are some HTTP methods which are used in the front end. We have some get method. We have get method. Another is post HTTP method. Put, delete. There are some basic method option. So that is the HTTP method. You will learn more clear. You will get more clarification when you learn your JavaScript. When you learn JavaScript, okay. So for now, we will skip this one. Yeah. Another attribute is autocomplete. Autocomplete attribute. I will show you autocomplete. What is autocomplete? Autocomplete means if you put autocomplete on, if you will put autocomplete on. So for example, first time I'm entering here Amit at gmail.com and password. Okay, save this. Okay. After saving this, we don't need to provide target just for now. After submitting this one, because here I'm putting target, that's why, and action also, that's why refresh this one. I'm putting something here at gmail.com, some password, hit enter. Your form is submitted. Okay. When you want to enter another things, so it will auto populated, because auto complete is on here. Here not needed. Here you just put inside the text field, right? For now, in the previous I'm putting some Amit like this, right? It's not coming as a suggestion. When you put auto complete on, so as you can see, I'm putting Amit, and second time if I'm coming here, so suggestion will come, but that is not coming. There are some browser issue, that's why not coming. Auto complete means auto complete attribute specify whether a form should have auto complete on or off. When auto complete is on, the browser automatically complete the value based on value that the user has entered before. Whatever value you have entered in the before, so same value will come when you click on the input fields. That is the benefit of using autocomplete on. Another attribute is no validate. No validate attribute is a boolean attribute. When present, it specifies the form data should not be validated when not validated when submitted, right? No validation means if you put no validate, if you put a form as a no validate, so it didn't check your form while submission time. While submission time, it will not check your input field is validated or not, right? Here I am putting no validate. In that case, if I'm not providing here email, so it will not check, right? I'm putting entering anything here. I'm not providing email, right? When I'm click entering the submitting the form, so it's submitted because I'm putting here no validate, means it will not check the validation, form validation. Okay. Some form elements, I will show you some HTML form elements. So we have a lot of elements. First, input elements I already explained. Label I already explained. So now we will check on the select. Okay, selected. After that, select. Put the select here. This is the select. Inside the select, we have some option. We have option elements. I will provide. First, I will put label. Label. This is the city. Okay. We have an option Hyderabad. Hyderabad. Mumbai. Okay. So that is the select drop down. I will show you how it's looking like this. Okay. Select something. So that is the select part. That is the select. That is the select element. Okay. After select element, selected elements, select element define the drop down list. Okay. Select element define the drop down list. We have some option inside the select. We have option element which will show whatever you want to select as a drop down inside the drop down. Option element define an option that can be selected. By default, the first item in the drop down list is selected. By default, first value will be selected. Okay. To define the pre-selected option, add the selected attribute to the option. Okay. So if you want to not select the first item, so you just put like this. You just put like this. First value by default selected. Okay. So you just put like this. Select on the next. So then we will select. Next attribute is okay. So there are some attributes in the select. We have select attribute that is called multiple. If you want to add inside the select element, if you want to add multiple, if you want to put multiple attributes. So in that case, we want to select multiple like this, like this. Okay. If you put multiple attribute, then you will get as a multiple select drop down. Next element text area. Next element is text area. So I will show you how it looking like. Label is called description. Text area means there are a lot of text. If you want to enter lot of description, so in that case you will use text area. And here some attributes rows. If you want to provide row budget 10, calls. Calls if we want to provide 20. Okay. As you can see, your text area coming like this. Remove the multiple here. Put here BR. As you can see, your text area coming like this. If you remove row and calls, so it will come by default. It will come by default like this. It will come by default like this. Here also here like this. Okay. And if you want to expand it, so as per your requirement, this is the customizable. Okay, this is customizable. If we want to expand or decrease, increase, so as you can, as per your requirement, you can do that. Okay, and row and calls, row and calls. That is the attribute. That is the text area attribute. Okay, so if you want to provide row as per your requirement, if you want to provide column as per your requirement, you can do it. Another element is button. That is the another element. It will work just like as a button. That is the another element. That is the another form element. Okay, like that is the another element. If you want to submit, so you can use button. Okay, it's done. There is another important element that is called field set. The field set element is used to group related data in the form. In the form, if you have a if you have one group that will contain one group, so you can use the field set. Inside the field set, you will use the legend element. Legend element will describe your group name. I will show you how it looking like. After the BR, here I'm putting another BR. I'm putting another BR. After that, we have a one group. We have a one address group. Okay, so use the field set first. Inside the field set, I will provide the legend. I will provide legend that is called address. Okay, and this field set contains three fields. First field is input, type text. That is the city. That is the city. Use the placeholder here. Also placeholder. That is another attribute. So that is a city. Okay, that is the field of city. Another field is state. Another field is state. Another field is country. Another field is country. And we have another field that is info. So we have a four input field. We have one group, address group, that is called address, and it contains the four field. So that will display one pair. How it looking like? Refresh the page. As you can see, this is the one group. This is the one group. This is the one field set. It contains the four fields: city, state, country, and pin code. Okay, that is the one field set. That is called field set. If we have one group and it will contain multiple fields, so we will create a one group. That is called field set. Okay, so I hope you understand. Another is data list. Another is data list element. So data list element specify a list of predefined options for input. Data list contain the specified list which is predefined option available inside the data list, and you will get inside the input. Okay, so I will show you how you will use the data list. After the BR, we have another BR. Just use the data list. Inside the data list, we have one input. We have input, and here list equal to data set list, like this. and dataset list hit to this data list using id. Okay, so when you click on this input field, so it will display this data set, this data list, and data list contain option. We have a multiple option. Uh, Here put the placeholder also. Placeholder. This is the country country list. Country list like that. Okay. So India, USA, Australia, Australia, Dubai. Save this. So how it looking like? As you can see, click on this one. This is the one input field, right? This input field contain the one data list. This input field contain the one input field, and how it will come, because I am connecting here based on the id. Based on the id, I am connecting to the input field based on the id. When you click on this input field, so your list will display, and if you want to select, your Australia selected, right? So that is the data list. Data list element specify a list of predefined option, whatever option you already predefined for an input element. User will see as a drop down list of predefined option, because this is the predefined option, right? This is the predefined option. You already put it inside the predefined. Okay? Predefined option as the input data. The list attribute of the input, the list attribute, the list, this is the list attribute, this is the one attribute, this is the list attribute of input element must refer to the id attribute of the data. It, that list attribute refer to the data list attribute id. id is another attribute which is contained inside the data list, and this is the list attribute inside the input. It will contain this id. Okay. So there are some inputs, there are some form elements. So I already explained. So first I will revise you. So first attribute is in, first element is input, second element is label, another element is select, another element is option. It will available inside the select. Okay. And another element is field set, another is legend element, data set, data list, another element is data list. These are the most important element inside the form. Okay. So this was the video. Then you will get more clarification. Okay, on the form, on the HTML form. We have some types, input type. I already explained you the type. If you have input type button, so it will work as a button. If you have input type as checkbox, so it will work as a checkbox. I already explained you. And if you have input type email, then it will work as a email. It will take an email. If you have input type file, I will show you how it's looking like. Input type file. We are input type equal to file. If you want to select, if you want to choose item, choose file from your local PC, put the local label here, choose file. Okay, like this. If you want to upload local file in your PC, in that case you can use input type file. Then you will click on the choose file, then you will get select this one, right? So this is the type of file. This is the type of file. If you put type file, then you will get select the file from your local PC. If you put input type number, if you will put input type number, then you will able to enter only the number. This is the mobile field, mobile number field. So here input type put number, input type number. So as you can see here, I am trying to enter characters, but character not able to enter. But if I am providing number, so then I am able to enter number. So if you want to provide input type number, then it will get only a number value. Okay. If you want to provide password, then it will show dot dot dot. If you want to provide radio, then you will get as a radio button. Okay. There are some submit. If you want to provide submit, it will work as a submit form. So another is we have text. I already explained. We have another input type time, date, and date time local. I will show you another. If you have an input type that is called calendar. Okay. If you have input type date, okay, then if you have input type date, then you will get like this. It will open the calendar, and if you click on the date, so you will get only the date. Okay. And calendar date. If you have a input type time, so you will get only the time. If you will get only the time, as you can see, calendar time. If you have input type time, then you will get only the time. If you will select time only. And if you have input type date time local, so in that case you will get date and time both. In that case you will get date and time both. As you can see, it will open your calendar also and time also. So you will get both. Date time means date and time both, right? So that is the benefit of using type. So I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to explaining here. So form part has been completed. So in the next video, we will learn how to add bootstrap in our HTML page. Okay. So we will learn on the next session. Thanks for watching my video. We'll stop today. Thank you so much.